Hello, Beez Bladers! Welcome back and welcome newcomers to the channel. I thought I had a hair there. It's on my screen. I hope you're having a fan-freaking-tastic day. We're going to check out two new knives from CJRB if I can manage to cut them open without cutting the boxes. Wow. This one right here, I mean, this one has, I'm just going to tell you, this S90V on this pyrite light is just, it's the stuff. It keeps a really good edge. But before I digress, yes, I hope you're having a great day. We're going to check these out. I'm very intrigued. I haven't checked out the knife. I've seen its picture. I don't remember what it looks like. So I think I'm going to be as surprised as you. Right off the bat, it's heavier than I expected. It's a G10 knife, but it does have some weight. Which one are we going to get out? I don't know. We'll just get this one out first. But make sure you check out down in the description and in the comment section. I have links to all the knives and the gear and flashlights and all that stuff that I show on the channel. I have discount codes to scores of knife retailers, or sharpening supplies, all of that stuff. If you just go down below, that will lead you to it. And if you scroll, you'll see the knives that have been in recent videos. I have discount codes for all of those and stuff because, well, yeah, if you're going to go get them, you might as well use my codes and hopefully I can make $1 back. You know what I mean? It doesn't cost you anything. And, well, that's whole part of reviewing the knives. And just to note, my reviews have nothing to do with whether or not I get an affiliation or whether or not I get a piece of the pie, because if I don't like something, I tell you, and that's just how it goes. Now, this is the CJRB Fugly. I kid you not. This is the Fugly. That's its real name. I'm not kidding. And this was designed by Jake Diaz. And okay, so we have a little bit of milling going down in the blade. That's very interesting. Some neat looking thumb studs. I kind of like the gold accents. And you can never go wrong with green and black. The OD green and the black always go together. And I am noticing right off the bat that this does not have a reversible clip. The clip is inset into the scales, which is very nice. Very, very nice. That means this is going to be easy in and out of the pocket with no snags whatsoever. So, oh, and you do have a place back here in this back pin. You have a place you can put a lanyard. So all you lanyard lovers are ready to go. And it looks like this is a front flipper or a thumb stud. So let's get this one out and see what it looks like. Are you ready? Pow! Right in the kisser. Okay. It's different. I don't know that I would call it fugly. I'm guessing, I am thinking this is going to be comfortable in my hand. I don't know yet, but because we're going to check. The blade steel is AR RPM 9. It's from Have a Nice Day Knives. Let's see. Left and right, up and down. It's absolutely solid. And you know what? Let's go ahead and get this other one out so we can look at them both at the same time. But I have a feeling, I'm just going to put $1 right here. I'm guessing that the ergos are going to be comfortable just from the looks of it. And I do like how this is a little bit taller blade. That means we're probably going to get a little bit more sliciness. Now here is the blue one, and I just opened it pretty easy. So this does not have a very strong detent. Let me check this one here. This one has a good detent. This blue one happens to not have a very strong detent. We'll talk more about that here in just a second before I lose my train of thought. Now here's what they look like next to each other. You got the green one and the blue one. So you see we do have options for our blade finish. Now from tip to tip, this bad boy's coming in at 8.1 inches. Your handle length is right at 4.6 inches. And then how much blade we got going on here? 3.4 inch blade and 3.3 inches sharpen length. So it does have a nice size handle and nice size blade. And now let's do a quick size comparison while we got it on the table. Here is the Vosteed Raccoon. So it's a little bigger than the Raccoon. And here's the QSP Penguin, because everybody needs a penguin, right? So there's the Raccoon and the Penguin. And then, well, you know what? Since that one's closer to that size, here's the Civivi Elementum. Yeah, so I can see where I know that I saw in the description something about the name being inspired from Australia slang. Well, I can tell you in the US, we use the slang word fugly also, and I'm not sure what the slang means in Australia, but let's see how this action is. So it's a little chalky. Now let's see how the action is on this one. This one is a little smoother. I'm thinking it's probably because of the coating. Is this black wash or this is either black wash or PVD. I would guess this is most likely PVD coated. Now here's a look at your pass through. It does have a cutout. It is easy access to get to that liner, and the lockup's right in the middle. And our centering, the blade is centering. Boy, I do like the looks of this one. It is easy to deploy. Now, as far as the disengagement, you do have to commit your thumb. You do have to put a little bit of pressure. So folks with like neuropathy or issues with your joints, or what's that word I'm looking for? Arthritis or something like that. You do have to kind of commit and push down. You can see it doesn't hurt. It's not extra, but it's not like the ones where you just barely touch it and it glides. You do have to commit a little bit to disengage it. Now, those thumb studs work very nicely. Let's see. Oh, it has a front flipper. Let me check out this front flipper. So yeah, this one here in particular is just a little chalky feeling. Like it's kind of tight, but it doesn't have any blade movement. Whereas with this one also doesn't have any blade movement. This one has a good lockup. And this one, the blade is centered. This one is smoother. It just doesn't have as strong as a detent. So if you look here, I'm just going to push with my thumb. See how easily I can push that out. Now, front flippers, you don't want the strongest detent in the world or you're not going to be able to front flip them, right? Now, front flipping is probably my third choice as far as my personal favorites. It depends on the knife and it depends on if it has secondary means of deployment like this one does. Now, let's see. My hand is 4 inches from here to here, 3.5 from here to here, and from the bottom of my palm to the tip of my middle finger is 7.25. Let's see how it feels. Okay, that's not bad. So I noticed up here we do have just a little bit of jimping on this one. Are they the same? Yes, they are. So there's just a tiny little bit of jimping there. This jimping is for the flipper, and this jimping doesn't serve a purpose. My thumb just kind of slides right over. I'm putting pressure. Maybe if you hold your knife like this straight down, that jimping might help just a little bit, but it's not super grippy and there's not quite enough of it for me personally. Now, choking up, this is comfortable. If you have XL hands, this would fit your XL hands. Back here, I don't think I will be choking back on this knife because of choking back here, I am a mile away from the blade edge. So I think the only way to hold this knife is going to be choked up like this. Now, in the choked up position, what am I feeling if I'm doing a little bit of pushing? What am I feeling? I am feeling this edge right here. The edge of the G10 is very 90 degree-ish. You can see right there, it's taken off a little bit of fingernail. So that wasn't chamfered off. It is just very straight, very abrupt, and pushing down. I'm just noticing this whole edge that isn't chamfered off. So that's something I would have recommended. Now, if you like this knife and you like the blade shape and you want to get one, I would just recommend get a little bit of sandpaper and it'll take you about 5 seconds to go about 5 or 6 times, and it'll take off that edge. And that I think is the only thing that I would do personally. And then it's going to be a lot more comfortable because right here where I'm hitting the inside of that G10, that's the other place that's not the most comfortable in the world. Now, if I am choking back and holding it all the way back here, I can feel the pocket clip. It is not hateful. It's just barely noticeable. It's not bothersome whatsoever. I don't tend to choke back on a knife when I'm this far away from the heel of the blade. Now, overall, the ergonomics aren't bad. The action on this one is okay. It just kind of feels like it needs broke in a little bit. And I guarantee if I took it apart and cleaned it and oiled it, which yeah, I know you shouldn't have to do that to a brand new knife, but I guarantee that doing that would improve it dramatically because, you know, if you've been into knives for any length of time, then you've already got into taking your knives apart and disassembling them. I do have an entire disassembly playlist if you want to learn how to clean your knives out and take them apart. It is not difficult whatsoever. Now, can I reverse flick this? I can, but barely, because back here, there's not much room to get behind the thumb studs. You can get underneath it and get it. It's just probably not something I'm going to do because I do have to pay attention and really position my finger to be back there to do it. So this is the CJRB Fugly. Not too bad. I went like that, almost expecting a flipper. Just maybe a couple of rough edges. It's pretty nice. I mean, for the price point, I think they're less than $50. I'll have links where you can go check them out and see if there's any more versions. I know there's at least these versions. You might be able to get either blade on either color. I would say usually they do that, but you can go check it out and let me know what you think about it. Do you have any opinions? We're going to talk about this on the live stream. Make sure you show up every Friday night. Beez Blades live at the Hive. Oh, right. We'll talk about these knives. We'll have a lot of fun. We'll talk about snacks and all that good stuff. Now, in the meantime, go watch this video or go watch that video. And until I see you again in the lives or the chats or the Hive streams, remember, live life in the present, keep a Band-Aid handy, and don't cut yourself.